Never doubt that you're the one, and you can have your dreams. You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep it down. You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep it down. You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep it down.
Well, all right. It is the morning after with Nick and Big J. Welcome to Thursday, 26th day of September, 2024. My name is Nick. I present to you, Big J.
Hello.
Good morning to you, Big J.
Hey, good morning to you.
Can I start with a personal question?
Sure.
What went sideways with yesterday's live video?
That's a great question.
Because I went on to the Facebook page, and all I saw was a 3-second video of you looking very frustrated and saying, "I'm going to erase this so that this appears."
You saw the last.
Well, and the video's still up there from what I could.
know.
And so I see as the last thing of you going, "I just want to make this forever erased from the internet." What happened?
See, I tested everything out the day before. This happens routinely in the world of streaming. And then yesterday, all my settings were just magically not working correctly, and so that was very frustrating. And then I haven't really played the game in a minute, and so I didn't really have that set up, and I had no more functional brain left at that point. It had been a long day, and I was like, F this. This isn't doing anybody any good. So yeah, and then I was like, and then at that point I was so frustrated, I wanted to destroy my computer, and then I didn't even want to touch it again. So that's why it hasn't been erased yet. But it did not go as planned.
Understood. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I know you were looking forward to it. You plugged in several days, and then things just went sideways. Mostly technical difficulties?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, is it too soon to ask you, are you planning another one? At some
point, yeah, but it's not going to happen before the walk.
Okay.
So, yeah, I got too much stuff on my plate as it is, so that's part of the problem.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, it's the thought that counts, as they say around Christmas time, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe.
Yeah. I had a
we'll-
couple people, and it just, I was so upset. I'm like, why is this not working now? It worked perfectly yesterday.
Again, I only saw the last 3 seconds of the video, but it was very clear you were frustrated.
I was.
You're just staring blankly into the camera, and you're like, I'm just going to erase anything that ever happened here today.
About a half hour before, I was like, I don't want to do this. This isn't going to. No.
That's not good.
And then I'm like, I got to. I said I was going to. So I tried it, and it wasn't working, and I was like,
yeah. Understood. So
I need Stallone to come in and throw in the towel.
Today on the show, there will be no talk of that anymore. That topic is now passed. But, however, we do have an opportunity for you to find out what your Aftershock power hours are. That's going to happen a little bit after 7:45 or so. We do have your first keyword of the day for textual healing. That's going to happen a little after 9 o'clock. We also have an opportunity for Big J to give you a nerd alert today. We have tickets to Breaking Benjamin, Stain, and Daughtry up for grabs, as well as some Bad Flower tickets. So we're going to make it a damn nice Thursday show. Tell you what. Plus, we play some music, so let's do some Radiohead for you. Creep is kicking things off on the X.
Morning after with Nick and Big J.
The Idaho State Department of Agriculture, Big J, as you know them, the ISDA,
Oh, yeah.
have said that a small number of quagga mussels have been detected in the Snake River once again.
No!
I know, man. Specifically in the Shoshone Falls Pool, Pillar Falls, and behind the hydroelectric facility in the Twin Falls Reservoir. This is not good news. According to the ISDA, the quagga mussels were first detected in the Snake River last September. They did a copper treatment applied to the river, and they thought that reduced the mussel population in December. But it turns out, Big J, they had just moved around to these particular parts. And so now the idea is to try to figure this out because the treatment could cause high mortality in fish and species. They don't want that to happen. So now they got to figure out how to get this invasive species the heck out of the Snake River. And they are putting their heads together to try to figure it out. But they're back, Big J, and this time it's personal, I'm guessing.
Damn boat inspections aren't helping.
You don't think so?
I don't know. The mussels are getting through.
They're finding their ways.
Where do they come from? How does this happen?
I believe they're magic, if I am understanding the story correctly. They appear out of
They're like
another
unicorns?
dimension. Yeah.
Jesus.
They're very rare, but much like unicorns, Big J, when found deadly to those that surround them.
Yeah.
Hey, the Chicago White Sox cannot stop getting out of their own way, Big J. They've been trying to make history for the last couple of days. They keep winning their damn baseball games. The hell's
Stop
going
it,
on?
you idiots.
We want to see history for the worst team ever.
Be losers.
The White Sox are just tied at the record. Nobody cares about that. You got to break that.
Yeah, how
thing.
disappointing. You can't even lose all the way.
There's still a couple of games left, so fingers crossed they crap out on the couple of them. But as of right now, since we talked about them almost certainly breaking the record, they've gone on a winning streak.
Sure.
And so we will see. There's still a few games left, but it is down to the wire for that. Speaking of baseball, Shohei Ohtani, a baseball card of his was sold at auction for $336,000. It's a one-of-a-kind 2018 Topps Chrome Sapphire autographed Superfractor rookie card.
Whoa,
Holy crap,
Fractor?
dude.
Superfractor?
Superfractor.
Damn.
That surpasses the previous record of $312,000 for an Ohtani card that was set in December of 2021. Big sale came just a couple of days after he, of course, became the first person ever to have a 50 home run, 50 stolen base season in Major League Baseball. So I'm guessing the value for those probably only going to go up, but that's a lot of money.
That ball's going up for auction.
Is it already?
Yeah.
They didn't give it back?
No. Well, the Dodgers offered him a good chunk of money, and he said no. And now it's going up for auction through Golden, and they're looking to try to get $4 million for it.
Now, is it the 50th home run ball, or is it the last home run he hit?
I think it's the 50th
Okay,
one.
okay. The one that made it a 50-50 season.
Yeah.
Got it, okay. God knows where that base is that he stole for the 50th base, but that'll probably be up in an auction soon. No doubt about it.
Right next to Ricky Henderson's.
Big J, have you in your adult life ever played pickleball?
No, I haven't.
It's never happened.
No.
You've
Are you
never
about to ruin my bad impression?
I don't know, unless you're talking about Ben Stiller.
Yeah.
Well,
Throws that up in flames.
he's got a pickle. Good news, you got 3 hours to figure it out. A pickleball comedy called The Dink. I don't know what that means. I imagine
The
it might be
pickleball move.
the name of a pickleball move. Do they have moves? Jake Johnson is going to star in the movie. He from New Girl.
It's great news, man.
And the film followed up washed-up tennis pro who ventures into pickleball. Mary Steenburgen is in it, a former guest of the Morning After, Big J. Ed Harris is also going to make an appearance. And then, Andy Roddick also is going to play a big part in this.
This is going to be funny.
The former tennis star.
This is going to be, I think, dodgeball level of funny, but for pickleball.
That's what Ben Stiller, I believe, is looking for in this particular side of things. Josh Greenbaum is going to direct, and it got greenlit, so they're going to start making it here very, very soon. So you can be on the lookout for pickleball taking over Hollywood.
Greenbaum's lit.
Morning After with Nick and Big J. There is your first round of important stuff. It is the X-Rocks. Jeez, that is a day to remember. Feedback here on the Morning After with Nick and Big J. We have gone on the record several times talking about maybe our lack of involvement in the world of reality TV. There is exactly one reality TV show that's not cooking themed that you happen to watch, and that is called what again?
Claim to fame.
Beautiful. And I, as much as I dip my toe into the reality side of things, it's probably game show related is usually kind of what I involve with. Like I watched, the Squid Game reality show that they turned it into from the Squid Game stuff. That's like the last reality show I really do kind of mess around with. So I'm not really super into the Real Housewives, The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, those kind of things. But you cannot deny the popularity of them. They have been around forever. Lots of people watch these shows. But it is amazing what line Americans will draw in the sand to what they feel is crossing the line for reality shows. Something happened on the Bachelorette finale that drove people crazy. Did you hear about the controversy?
No.
So Jen Tran is one of the contestants on the show, and during the finale, they made her apparently watch her engagement breakup. And she was going through it, like experiencing this trauma on television, watching live her engagement break up with a person she supposedly loved or whatever, thought was in love with her. So it was a lot. You were seeing somebody have a kind of a breakdown on TV, live TV, that made a lot of Americans feel really uncomfortable, and they didn't like it. 57% of people that watched The Bachelorette said that was too far, and now they think they need to start being held accountable for participants' mental health. And say 45% of the people that watch the finale say they're really thinking about not watching it moving forward because they think it's really messed up what happened on TV. And that was, I mean, listen, nobody should have to experience that. That's a terrible thing she had to go through. I certainly don't, I sympathize with the situation that she's in. But it is weird to me that that's where that line is drawn. You know what I mean?
So she broke up on
She was broken up with.
Oh, okay.
On the show. And
It's a
it was
big
a
deal. It happens
traumatic
all the
thing.
time.
Well, yeah, well, sure, but breakups can be hard, Big J. I think you can admit that. Nobody wants to be broken up on national
How did we
TV.
know it was real?
We don't, but we're seeing this on this television show.
Dude,
Posed as reality television.
If you see the behind the scenes and all this stuff, man, it's bananas. That's what makes everybody upset.
That's what I'm saying.
That's ridiculous.
Like, we've seen people nearly die from fights on camera. We've seen the camera pointed at serious addicts that are in mental crisis and a life crisis. We've seen people open up their doors with their house covered in garbage, and we're upset. The one line that we draw is we don't want to see somebody get messed with mentally on TV because they're broken up with.
I mean, here's the hypocrisy of that is that the mental, I guess that what all of these people are going through making these reality shows is a mind bleep anyways.
Sure.
Already.
Yeah.
So now you care? I mean,
Yes.
it's all a bunch of BS, and everything they do on these shows is only to create fake drama in order to continue to get you to watch.
Yeah, and a lot of it's stirring up
And
the
so
drama.
when they do it too well, you're all upset now? You just don't want to see the sausage made?
Yes,
God.
they believe lines were crossed and people, it's
Well,
affecting the
good.
mental health
Maybe
of
it'll
people.
end.
I wouldn't count
No
on
more
it.
damn Rhodeses all over here.
I would not count on it, but it is interesting to me that we're clutching our pearls at this particular moment when
Yeah.
there's so much other stuff out there that's deeper, darker, worse, and had to deal with it. Now, listen, again, I'm not here to
Pretty ridiculous.
to kind of talk down the fact that it's not traumatic to go through a breakup. It definitely is, and I wouldn't want to
course.
handle that on a national television show either.
Fun to do on the radio.
I get it. Yeah, we talk about breakups a lot on the radio. But on the TV, in front of a national audience, there's something demeaning, and it can certainly be mentally traumatic for the person going through that. I don't wish it on anybody. I'm just saying it is weird that is where we as a culture have said, whoa, too far. Take it easy. Let's not show breakups on TV and make people watch their own breakup and relive that trauma and deal with all that kind of stuff. Because I certainly wouldn't want to do that, whether I was in the privacy of my own home or on television.
Yeah.
So I get it. But I've just seen so much stuff on reality TV, so many shows dedicated to essentially ruining people's lives in every way and putting them in situations that make them uncomfortable and have them deal with trauma, that this is where we go, hey, isn't that kind of messed up that people are doing that to somebody? But hey, listen, if it starts the conversation, I'm all for it, because the reality of the situation, no pun intended, is, yes, a lot of these shows are terrible for people and lead them down pretty dark paths. And most of it is for our entertainment. And we should probably start looking ourselves in the mirror and go, is that okay?
Yeah.
Do I really want to beat Bobby Flay? Is that something I really
Yeah.
want to do? Oh, okay.
Beat him into the ground.
Morning After with Nick and Big J. There is your reality show update. Big J will have a nerd alert for you. That's next on the X Rocks.
Here's traffic.
Let's go talk to the nerds. Nerd Talk.
The best in tech and gaming. Big J's Nerd Alert on 100.3 The X Rocks.
Yes, and yesterday, Sony PlayStation had their State of Play yesterday and revealed some upcoming games, Nick. And the biggest announcement by far is the announcement of the Ghost of Tsushima 2. Will be arriving in 2025. The new game will be titled Ghost of Yotai, or Yoti. I don't know how to pronounce it, and focus on a new protagonist, Atsu. The announcement trailer gave a pretty good look at what you can expect from the upcoming game from Sucker Punch. Beyond the new game itself, the chief executive there at Sony stated that they want to expand into other media, turning this franchise into movies and TV shows like everybody else.
Listen, man, that game, Ghost of Tsushima, is one of the best games ever. I mean, it's beautiful, it's gorgeous, the gameplay is amazing. I'm very excited that they are making a follow-up to it. I will play whatever game Sucker Punch releases. It's really, really good. I'm very excited for it.
And you'd have to have Norman Reedus, right? Isn't he? Or no, that's a different game altogether. I'm
You're
sorry.
thinking of Death Stranding?
Yes.
No,
Sorry.
Different game.
There was a bunch of other things, including a new look at some new Metal Gear Solid action happening. So that's pretty interesting there, Nick. And some other news, not so great news for a major game studio, Ubisoft. They have announced that they have delayed Assassin's Creed Shadows by 3 months. Now, the open world adventure game was supposed to come out November 12th in 2024 here. It will now launch February 14th in 2025. In a statement, Ubisoft said it needs more time to polish and refine the experience, pushing further some of our key features. And at the same time, they confirmed that Assassin's Creed Shadows will release on Steam, so that's the computer PC, day one, unlike the PC version of the company's previous major release, Star Wars Outlaws, which is finally hitting PC right now. Pre-orders will be refunded, and Ubisoft is departing from the traditional season pass model, with all future pre-orders granted the first expansion for free. So that's important. Now, in a note to investment community, Ubisoft said that while Assassin's Creed Shadows was feature complete, the learnings from the release of Star Wars Outlaws led us to provide additional time to further polish the title. Star Wars Outlaws had a softer than expected launch. This will enable the biggest entry into the franchise to fully deliver on its ambition, notably the fulfilling of promise of our dual protagonist adventure. So we'll see how that shakes out. But basically, they're leaving behind a huge part of the sales, and that's the PC community. That's why the sales were so soft for Outlaws, because a lot of those geeks are using PC.
Well, the reviews weren't great either. And so the word of mouth, I mean, I know a couple of people that really love the game. I'm excited to play it. I haven't done it yet, but I do want to. I was wondering how Star Wars Outlaws did, because when I was checking on things about it, and the most I heard was bitching about how the game looked, how the game played. A couple of people that I do trust said it was really good, so I'm going to give it a shot. But I was wondering if it was a bomb or what happened with it.
Yeah, but I think, though, if you release it all this stuff at the same time, then you're at least you get a bunch of suckers that are buying it right away. So a whole new thing. Hey, and listen, if you want to get into some hardware, VR style, now is the time. Meta announced a budget-friendly Quest 3S VR headset at its annual Connect keynote. That was also yesterday. Rumors have been swirling for months that the company has been working on a cheaper follow-up to the impressive Quest 3, which had a massive price tag, and now it's here and priced at just $300. So this is pretty dang close to the original Quest 3, which costs $500 now. The latest headset uses the same Qualcomm Snapdragon processor and boasts 8 gigabytes of RAM. It can easily handle Quest 3 exclusives like the forthcoming Batman Arkham Shadow. So it offers same full color pass-through for mixed reality apps and games, and ships with the same controllers as last year model. So this is a huge deal. If you want to get into a VR headset, this is probably a great way to go.
You recommend those stuff, right? You had a good time
we
with
have
yours?
the Quest 2. Well, Maddie and Adara have it over at their house right now, but it's pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool, and it can come in handy for all kinds of fun stuff.
Cool.
So there you go. There's your Nerd Alert.
Thank you very much, Big J. Morning After with Nick and Big J. Coming up, some important stuff, and we're going to hell. It's the X Rocks.
Important stuff. On the morning after with Nick and Big J.
I need you to dig deep in the Big J and Brent memory, Big J.
Oh, no.
The last sporting event you tailgated at.
Oh, man, I don't know. I don't know if I've ever really tailgated.
Oh, no.
Like, been to a tailgate or tailgated? Like, you're in charge of the tailgate.
No. I've been to a tailgate. I don't think you've ever been in charge of a tailgate.
Probably the last time we did Chili's tailgate.
Oh, okay, so when it was a station-required activity.
Well, I mean, then I would usually go across the street in the parking lot.
Sure.
With some friends. But,
oh, okay.
Yeah.
So there was some tailgating involved. You would go and venture out and check out some stuff. All right. Let me ask you a couple of important questions. Would you ever show up empty-handed to a tailgate?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's terrible.
Well, I'll be like, do you want me to bring anything? No. Okay. There you go.
Have you ever actually stayed at the tailgate instead of attending the sporting event and been at the tailgate throughout the entire thing, even though you didn't have tickets to the actual sporting event?
That wasn't the Chili's tailgate?
Well,
party?
we were gone before the game was over, so we definitely didn't stay for the game.
No, I don't think I have.
Okay, ever,
no.
In your opinion, when should a tailgate start? How many hours before the game should a tailgate begin?
I mean, that depends on what you got going on at your tailgate. I mean, if you're going to be smoking meat, you're going to have to be there early. So,
you're not going to give me a time, huh?
No, I'm not.
22% of
8
tailgaters
hours.
have stayed at the tailgate even if they didn't have tickets to a game. That's happened with me. I've done that plenty of times. They found it about 89% of tailgaters consider it very rude to show up empty-handed to a tailgate, even if you've been told not to bring anything.
I think you just added that last part.
No. 32% say snacks are always welcome no matter what you're told to bring. 28% say, you know what, any other kind of food you can bring. And then everybody, almost 95% say you got to at least show up with some sort of alcoholic beverage. You got to bring your own or at least bring something to share so that the tailgate actually increases in fun. And if you're not doing that, then you're just a mooch, Big J. And who needs you at the tailgate?
All right, well, don't invite me then.
Those polled believe a tailgate should start about 2 hours before a game, and that's when it should go. Of course, I come from a place where tailgating is a national pastime. I don't think I've ever showed up at a tailgate. Like, if I was going to specifically tailgate, I'm there before noon every time. Like, it's like a 6-hour event.
Right.
And then you're getting into the game, and then you're going to actually enjoy it. And so, of course, Americans, tailgating is a big part of any kind of sporting event that we do. It used to be just a football thing. Then it extended into other sports. And now I think everything but, like, basketball has, like, tailgating involved.
You might be from the land where tailgating started.
I don't know. I mean, it's always been a part of my childhood. I remember the tailgates more than I remember the games sometimes growing up.
It's a serious enterprise.
It is. I mean, Lambeau Field, if you go to a game at Lambeau Field, you will be tailgating by 8 o'clock in the morning.
Next week, right?
Week after next.
Okay.
The week of the 11th, I'll be in
least
Lambeau Field.
walking through some tailgates.
Yeah.
Probably.
Well, maybe not. I'll be getting there fairly early.
Yeah.
But I don't think I won't be able to partake in any tailgates because I cannot.
You got to work.
I have to work. I can't be hammered at this thing.
You're going on vacation. You're taking a couple days off to go to work.
But to me, again, I will have unprecedented access to what I consider to be a very holy place. And so to be able to go in and around Lambeau Field with nobody else and have my kind of like, I can go wherever I want to go. That's fine. I don't have to have a beer. I'll be all right. I'll have a beer after the game.
Yeah.
And then I'll be okay. But yes, I'm very excited for it, and tailgating is a big part of that. And yes, if you've ever been, again, you're familiar with the Kmart parking lot that's like a block away from Lambeau Field that is filled by 6 o'clock in the morning with people grilling brats, got the hibachis out, doing whatever it takes to truly get into Lambeau Field as hammered as possible. That is the goal, and still be upright. Big J, UNLV's got some issues. Matthew Sluka is their quarterback. Not anymore, though. He announced that he is sitting out the rest of the season after helping lead the team to a 3-0 start. But the decision is made on money. Sluka said that certain commitments were made to him after transferring to UNLV from Holy Cross, and he says that those promises haven't been fulfilled. He said that he was promised $100,000 in NIL money, and so far he's only received $3,000 of those dollars. And he's like, "There's no way,
light, bro.
Yeah, there's no way they're hitting that money." So they lied to me. I don't want to play for a bunch of liars, and so he has decided he will use this year as a redshirt year and try to find someplace else to actually suit up and lead next year.
Good for him.
And it depends on what side you lay on. A lot of people are lambasting him. I'm in your corner as well.
Listen, this is the new way it is done, and you in a lot of places are just straight up lying to these kids.
Yeah, and that's what's happening. And to kind of further that, if you're coming out on top on UNLV and you think this guy's not a liar, the running back for the team also quit via social media yesterday and said he's sitting out the rest of the year for the same reason, unfulfilled promises by the UNLV football program. And so they have lost their running back and their quarterback in the last week because they haven't been able to back things up. And then, Big J...
And that's Vegas.
Yes.
There's money laying around everywhere.
On top of that, UNLV and Air Force both announced yesterday they will be staying in the Mountain West. So UNLV did have an invitation to the Pac-12. They said thanks, but no thanks. Air Force was being invited to the AAC, not the Pac-12. They said no thanks. Both of them are suspected to receive a ridiculous amount of money as part of that payout the Pac-12 is supposed to give them to stick around and stay.
That's the bummer, though, because, I mean, as much as a challenge it is playing Air Force, but it's great to be able to play one of the academies.
Sure.
On a regular basis. So I'll miss that for sure.
Yeah, but that was fairly new when they joined the Mountain West, right? They had never had that kind of thing going on in Boise State before, right? There wasn't one part of, the other conference, like the WAC. There wasn't one in the WAC. I remember the WAC, but I don't remember there being a service academy in there. There could have been. Big J, you like romantic comedies. How do you feel about the world of Legally Blonde? Is that in your wheelhouse or not?
I never really got into it. I mean, I don't remember. I mean, I've seen it, but it's been a minute.
Did you ever see the second one?
No.
Red, White, and Blonde?
Yeah. I'm a Sweet Home Alabama guy.
Reese Witherspoon is searching for the high school version of Elle Woods for the upcoming prequel series that's headed to Amazon Prime Video. The show is going to be called Elle, and it will follow her high school experience, and they are doing an open casting call. So they're just trying to find somebody that looks like a young Reese Witherspoon that's got some acting chops that can pull off a lead in an Amazon Prime series. So we'll see if it comes together, but the casting call is open, Big J. So if you have somebody that you know that you think that looks like a young Reese Witherspoon, point them in the direction of her production company, would you please?
Okay.
Morning After with Nick and Big J. There is your important stuff. We're going to go to hell. It's next on the X Rocks.
Stories that are incredibly f***ed up. Oh man, we're going to hell.
Rotten hell, you worthless maggot!
The Morning After with Nick and Big J on 100.3 The X Rocks.
To Virginia we go for today's We're Going to Hell story, Big J.
Virginia.
And it's an experience, I think, that if you have reached a certain point in your life, you've probably been through a ridiculous amount of them. You remember in school, picture day, my friend?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember getting all dressed up in your Big J clothes and going to get your picture taken?
Mm-hmm.
Anything weird happen to you on picture day ever?
I mean, no.
Am I remembering this right? Do you remember, like, I don't know why this vision just popped into my head, but do you remember standing in line to get your picture taken and them handing you, like, a comb, like a disposable comb that you could comb your hair with before picture day? I don't know why that just clicked into my head. But I was like, that's weird that they used to give us combs. Like, we didn't know how to comb our hair back then.
I just remember selecting the extra box for, like, the laser things. Like the
I never had a laser background. That sucked.
Yeah.
I don't know
Sorry,
if I
man.
It's okay. It's okay. Was I missing out? Is it really cool?
No, you didn't miss out on any.
Because I tried to convince to get my kids for one of them, but they weren't interested in it. And I was like, all right, well, whatever. I guess I won't live vicariously through you and your laser background. But we are in Virginia for it because it happened. All this stuff happened to happen on school picture day. It was at an elementary school called Chittum Elementary School. It's in Chesapeake. And apparently they had hired a photographer that was a little bit different. Because she ended up getting fired halfway through the school picture day session, and the school has needed to reschedule picture day. Why, Big J? Apparently the photographer was making inappropriate comments to the students and had to be escorted off campus in the middle of the photo shoot. Now, the photographer was not named by the school or by company officials. All we know is they were employed by LifeTouch, which is a family and school photography service owned by Shutterfly. But according to parents, the photographer was asking the kids really weird questions before the picture was taken.
Oh.
For instance, you know how you'd usually get, hey, smile, or look at the birdie, or whatever the case may be?
Yeah.
This photographer was asking the kids things like, can I steal your identity? And then they would ask other students, can I eat your soul? And then when they said no, they were like, well, what can I eat then? And everybody around them was like, this is uncomfortable and weird. Why are they asking children this?
Yeah, it does sound uncomfortable.
And then they started asking questions about if they believed in God and, all this kind of religious stuff. And they're like, it's starting to get really weird.
The weird question was like, hey, is anybody going to miss you? You're gone?
It's starting to get real creepy, guys. At first the kind of comments were like, oh, she's just joking. It's just kind of like a crazy little joke. Yeah. And then it started happening to every kid, and they were very clear that it was making them uncomfortable. And then she didn't stop when she was asked to stop. And she kept asking students if she could steal their identities. And it started to get really, really weird. And so
on drugs, right?
I don't know. All I know is they stopped school picture day, escorted the photographer out, sent home a letter to parents and said, hey, we had to fire the photographer in the middle of the shoot for saying inappropriate things. And the only reason we know what these things are is because the kids came home and started talking to their parents and like, hey, this woman asked if I believed in God and
weird,
if she could eat my soul. What does that mean, you think? And so it started to get really, really weird.
Eat your soul.
And so the school has sent home a letter, and they're going to reschedule picture day. I don't know. I mean, I guess you can't really press charges against somebody for being a weird creep, but you might want to put somebody on a list, right? Let's keep an eye out on that person just to make sure.
Spread that list around to the other schools. Be like, hey, this lady comes calling. Don't let her in.
For the record, LifeTouch, the photography service the school hired, says the number one priority is the safety of every student we photograph. And they will be looking into this particular incident with an internal investigation. In the meantime, the employee in question has been removed from all photography duties, Big J.
Damn.
So, just, I guess, watch out and don't be creepy. Stop asking weird questions. Just take some pictures. Can't be that hard, right? I mean, I know it's hard. There's certainly people that are better at it than I'll ever be. But it can't be hard, I guess, not to ask things like, can I eat your soul?
Right.
That has to be something that's easy for you to swallow.
To be normal.
As a person that's out in public, let's say. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your We're Going to Hell story. It is the X Rocks.
important stuff.
What's going on in the news today?
The Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Question for you, Big J. On a scale of 1 to 10, how concerned are you about the world of AI when it comes to job security?
4?
Okay. Maybe that number should be a little higher because according to Nokia Bell Labs, they have compiled a list of the jobs most and least likely to be impacted by AI. The study analyzed over 48,000 AI-related patents filed between 2015 and 2022 to create an artificial intelligence impact score for various professions. Cardiovascular technologists are the number one kind of job where they are going to be impacted in some way by AI, either completely replaced or very replaceable. Number 2, anything to do with sound engineering. That's us, Big J. There's already out there AI-generated radio personalities that are doing shows in certain markets. There's certain people that sound like it, but they're not actually them.
They won't last very long.
And, that's famous last words, of course. But also, it comes in at number 2 on the list of things to be concerned about. Number 3, nuclear medicine technologists. So we're just ahead of those people when it comes to AI vulnerability. On the other hand of the spectrum, people that don't have to worry about their jobs being impacted are those that do manual labor. Pile driver operators are number 1. Dredge operators, number 2. Aircraft cargo handling supervisors, number 3. So that's something to keep in mind. If you work with your hands, odds are you're pretty safe. If you work with your brain, Big J, you're in trouble. You better watch out.
Okay.
However, the study only analyzed U.S. patent data, so that's something to keep in mind. Global innovations and other jobs in other countries not taken into consideration. So these are just the jobs in the United States that will be impacted by AI. Try to keep that in mind as well. I don't think it's time to hit the panic button, but maybe hover your finger over it a little bit, Big J.
All right.
Tonight on Thursday Night Football, Dallas at the New York Giants. Do you think it will be a good game, Big J, or will it be a Thursday Night Football game?
No, it can't be a good game. The Giants are involved. And the Cowboys. I mean, this is a straight-up disaster.
All right. Who do you like?
Where is it at?
It's in New York. Well, it's in New Jersey.
Let's go with the Cowboys. They can win anywhere else but at home. So.
Oh, you would have picked the Giants had the game would have been in Dallas?
Yeah.
It's a move that is bound to get the Major League Baseball Players Association to file a grievance, but the Pittsburgh Pirates designated first baseman Rowdy Tellez for assignment. Here's the problem, Big J. Rowdy was having a pretty good season and needed just 4 plate appearances to make a $200,000 bonus, but the Pirates sent him down before he had the opportunity to get that money. He says, the general manager of the Pirates says that the upcoming bonus didn't have any impact at all to remove Tellez from the roster with just 5 games left this season, but that seems crazy to me. It totally means like it's impactful. Now, first of all, the Pirates have the lowest payroll in the MLB. Their entire franchise has an $85 million payroll. Tellez only has a 1-year deal worth $3.2 million. They probably just didn't want to make it $3.4 million. Agree or disagree, Big
Yeah,
J?
it's messed up.
It is messed up. That's the kind of stuff that people will remember and not want to sign with your team for in the future. So I expect the Pirates to be pretty bad moving forward for a while. Big J, there is going to be another RoboCop TV series. This one put together by Amazon Prime. James Wan is put together with that. He is leading the creative team. The show will follow a tech conglomerate collaborating with the police to introduce a technology-advanced cyborg cop. So much like the 2 origin movies we've already had, this appears to be a little bit more faithful to the 1987 film, whereas the Joel Kinnaman version was kind of its own animal altogether. This is going to be more dystopian future, affected by corporate infiltration than anything else. This latest iteration is one of many titles inherited by Amazon that they're trying to put together. They want to make a Silence of the Lambs series. They want to make some more James Bond stuff. They just recently acquired The Handmaid's Tale and Legally Blonde, which is already getting a prequel series. So they bought a bunch of IP, and they plan on doing a bunch of different spin-offs with it, or prequels or whatever. And RoboCop is part of it. Question for you, Big J. Would you buy that for $1?
Their move, creep.
Did you ever watch the Joel Kinnaman RoboCop
I haven't.
with Michael Keaton?
I know.
No, you didn't.
To.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think you do need to, actually. It's
no,
not
I'll
very
do what
good.
I want now. I'm
It's
going to go
not very
watch it.
good.
I'll probably like it.
All right. I bet you would. But did you like any of the further Peter Weller adventures of RoboCop either?
2 was okay.
It's okay.
But I don't remember. I don't think I even got into 3. So
That's when you jumped off the RoboCop bandwagon. And so you're on the fence about this?
Well, I didn't see the remake movie, so I'm not sure I would jump in.
Again, this appears to be more about the 87 version than the remake
Yeah,
version.
and I think, that whole corporate, kind of come to fruition these days. But I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, people don't understand. I mean, the RoboCop movie, the first RoboCop, is much more a serious takedown of capitalism than it is anything else than a straight-up action movie. It really is about that, and this appears to be kind of attaching itself to that more than anything else. There's layers to RoboCop that maybe you don't think about.
I mean, think about that. It was in the late 80s, and now we're in a place where there are corporations that kind of like that.
Yeah, and one of them is making this series. Weird. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your important stuff. We got your pop culture smackdown. It's next on the X.
Pop Culture Smackdown. On the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Yeah, and up for grabs. Got a nice pair of tickets for you, man. Stained, Breaking Benjamin, Daughtry, Lakeview, all happening October 6th, Sunday, out at the Ford Idaho Center Amphitheater, and we'll get you set up with those tickets. You just got to beat me in Pop Culture Smackdown to win them.
All right. You think you got what it takes? 208-287-1003. That is always our phone number. You needed to call right now if you want to take on Big J in Pop Culture Smackdown. Big J, how are you feeling?
I'm sleepy, so got a good chance here.
Hello, the X.
Sneaking one by me.
Hello.
Hi, who's this?
Tim.
Tim, you're up first. Tim, what horror movie franchise had the famous tagline of a little girl saying, "They're back"?
Oh my gosh. God, I don't know. Children of the Corn.
No. Not Children of the Corn. Thank you, though, for playing. Hello, the X.
Yeah.
Hello?
Good morning. How are you guys?
We're very well. Thank you
thanks,
very much.
man.
What horror movie franchise has the tagline with a little girl saying, "They're back"?
Friday the 13th?
No. Is this harder than I
Yeah,
thought?
I think it's been I think
is?
so.
It's not a famous movie franchise?
I don't think so.
Really? They made like 6 of them.
Really?
I think so. At least 4. Hello, the X.
Hi.
Hey, and then they remade it. We need to know what horror movie franchise has the tagline with a little girl saying, "They're back."
Poltergeist.
There you go. Poltergeist is the right answer. Big J, who played Captain Leo Davidson in the Tim Burton version of the movie Planet of the Apes?
Tim Burton's version?
Yes.
Oh, boy. Did not watch.
Oh.
You know this.
I don't know if I knew you didn't watch the Tim Burton version.
Yeah.
I know you haven't watched any of the new modern Planet of the Apes.
Oh, I'll go with, well, let's go. I didn't realize Tim Burton directed that, so I'll go with, oh, boy. Jeez, man. Yeah, I don't know. I can't make my brain work. It's a car crash in my brain.
Okay. All right, Big J's crying uncle. That means you win, sir. Do you happen to know who starred in Tim Burton's version of Planet of the Apes in 2001?
Yeah, I don't have a clue either.
That was Mark Wahlberg, everybody. Mark Wahlberg led the cast of that Planet of the Apes movie that he made with Paul Giamatti, and of course it also had his girlfriend Helena Bonham Carter.
Oh, the apes.
You pretty much nailed it. It's not very good. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There is your Pop Culture Smackdown. Congratulations. Enjoy those Breaking Benjamin Stain tickets. We have got a run of headlines. They are next on the X Rocks.
Of really stupid stuff. It's time for headlines on the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Headlines are as follows, Big J. Infestation. What's in the box? And people are creepy.
Oh, man. What's in the box?
Police in Spain report that 2 women sent scammers almost $365,000, all while thinking they were talking to Brad Pitt. Authorities say a group of swindlers contacted the women through a fan page for the actor and defrauded them via email and WhatsApp. The victim lost $195,000. The other sent $170,000. The cyber criminals, to capture the victims, had studied their social networks and made a psychological profile of them. thus discovering that both women were two vulnerable people lacking in affection and a state of depression, and went after him and got almost $400,000 out of these two ladies thinking they were talking to Brad Pitt.
We're dumb ladies.
It is lonely, man.
What are they going to do? What are they going to talk to you for?
I don't know, but some people just want to believe that stuff, I think. And it's just more sad than anything else.
Yeah.
But also, like, I mean, there does need to be some sort of awareness involved in this. And that is, why is Brad Pitt contacting me? What are we talking about? Why, of all things, does Brad Pitt need money, ? And that's the other thing that really should be the red flag. Even if you believe that Brad Pitt wants to carry on some sort of online relationship with you, why does he need your cash?
Yeah, he's rich.
Brad Pitt's doing okay. He's an Academy Award winner. He just made a terrible movie on Apple. He's fine. He's
did you
got
watch
money.
it?
Yes, it's bad. And so, it's a situation where you should at least have some sort of red flags that pop up and go, that's probably not the best of intentions. But alas, some people get scammed. And listen, people get scammed every day for things that you think you're too smart to fall for, but it happens. So you can't, nobody's perfectly, ready for this kind of stuff. It's just, that's a lot of money, man.
Brad Pitt's the new prince of Nigeria.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Infestation or people are creepy.
People are creepy.
Joseph Marr is an artist. He creates sculptures of the nude female form out of sugar, Big J. And some art lovers think it's fantastic work and they display it in particular places, which is fine. That's what art is for. Here's the problem, Big J. Some of these sculptures are out in the open in art museums, and the people are licking them. They are licking the sugar sculptures of female women, which is not okay. And Joseph wants people to knock it off. He says, I don't know why people are licking I know why people are licking my art. It's because they're weird, but they shouldn't. It's the sculptures are red in color. They're smooth like marble. They smell like honey, but they don't taste like sugar. And just because they are sugar doesn't mean you should eat them and they're edible. He says that he likes working with difficult kind of things, and so sugar is what appeals to him the most. He's working on a open heart surgery sugar sculpture that is currently on display in Berlin. Strangely enough, Big J, nobody has licked the open heart surgery one, just the naked women one.
Huh.
Weird, right?
No.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why people have to be so weird and gross all the time, but they do. We'll wrap it up with infestation. A public library in Michigan was forced to close down after somebody returned a DVD case that was filled with insects. The Royal Oak Public Library had to be closed all weekend long because of an infestation of bugs, which were later determined to be cockroaches. They came from a DVD that somebody dropped off in the return bin. A worker opened the case and the insects flooded out of it. The library staff was concerned that the insects had infected other parts of the library, including other books. They had to call in a pest control company, spend 3 days at the library until all the roaches were gone. Gross.
Was it a DVD of Joe's apartment?
I wish it was. I don't know if anybody else knows that movie but you or me, but I wish that it was. I don't know. That feels planned, though. You know what I mean? When you open it up and like they all come pouring out of there like it's a freak show skit or something.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the hell's happening here? That feels like somebody did that on purpose. So what are you trying to take your stuff out on the library for, guys? Morning After with Nick and Big J. There is your headlines. You're officially up to date on everything. We got ourselves the first keyword of the day for textual healing. Somebody's going to win $500. Might be you. That's next on the X Rocks. That's the latest from Seether. That is Judas Mind here on the Morning After with Nick and Big J. A reminder, we are in the middle of an Aftershock Power Hour. Hopefully you've been keeping track so that you can join us tomorrow and qualify for the big giveaway we're doing at Sturman's Wine and Cigars. We have plenty more Aftershock artists before we wrap that up, but hopefully you've been keeping count so far. It's the Morning After with Nick and Big J. And Big J, are you on the hunt for something?
No, I'm not, but you had mentioned, we think we briefly talked maybe last week or earlier this week about scavenger hunts, and you never really partaken in one before.
I don't think, I've done like the half-assed ones, kind of like where you never leave the room kind of a thing,
Right.
But I don't think I've ever done like an elaborate scavenger. I put them together, I've organized them, but I've never actually partaken in one.
What would it take to get you to do, like, what would the stakes have to be?
I don't know if it's stakes related as much as it's do I have the time to be able to put into actually trying to put it all together. But it would have to be something pretty cool, I would think. But also, like, part of me would be Like, if the prize is so big, I would talk myself out of it because it'd be like, well, everybody's looking for
yeah.
this, and there's no way I'm going to find it. So that would be my attitude towards it. But I certainly think that they're fun and they're good to go on if you want to do it.
Couple things here. A couple of video game designers in New Hampshire launched a treasure hunt called Project Skydrop across New England, and they've hidden a 24-karat gold statue worth $26,000 somewhere in the woods. Players can join the hunt by paying a $20 entry fee. That feels like, I don't know about that. Each day, players receive clues via email to help them locate the treasure. So far, the search area has been narrowed down to Western Mass, parts of Connecticut, Southern Vermont, blah, blah, blah. But the contest takes off. The creators hope to do this across the country. So that might be something. I feel weird about putting money towards it and not knowing, what's going on with it. I mean, there's a lot of trust you got to do in there. Also, in local news here, according to Boise Dev, there is a big ad agency in New York is doing a huge contest involving their advertisement for a car, kind of car, I guess. And they've been putting phone numbers or attaching things to signs. And some of the transportation department people have to go fix that because you're not allowed to attach stuff to signs and put on other numbers and things like that.
What do you mean? The numbers like what?
Like a phone number. Like, it's part of the scavenger hunt is like you go to find these signs and then you call this number, etc. And they've attached things to a sign, and you're not allowed to do that.
Sure.
So that's happening. It's against public safety.
Yeah, because people are reading the signs, and next thing you know, they're getting into accidents.
Yes,
that makes sense.
Exactly. So,
do we know what it's for or what the idea is?
Yeah, they didn't really say in the story, and I'm okay with that. They called it guerrilla-style ad stunt.
Okay. But yeah, is that really a scavenger hunt, or is that trying to release a product, I guess, is the other side of it?
Well, when you have people
the
go
work for
do
you.
stuff. Yeah, exactly. But either way, there's some scavenger hunt stuff.
What about
for
you? Last scavenger hunt you were on?
I don't think I've been. I mean, the last thing I remember being a part of is I think we were giving away Metallica stuff. We hid Metallica stuff around.
Do you remember when we hid the Game of Thrones eggs across the
Treasure
Valley as well for our scavenger hunt? That was something I was thinking of. We also used to do, remember we hid Santa's sack, and we actually had Santa's sack somewhere, and people had to find it back in the day too?
Yeah.
We're talking like 08 or something like that when we would do that contest. So, yeah, we've definitely done some scavenger hunts before, but I haven't participated in one that was like where I was required to go from one location to the next and follow the clues like an Amazing Race kind of a thing. That hasn't happened, but doesn't mean it won't. I don't think a statue's going to make me do it, though, Big J. Is this part of their video game? Is that why they're doing it?
I don't know anything about their video game, no. But that's a good chunk of money.
Sure, yeah. Big old statue, I suppose. Morning After with Nick and Big J. Coming up in a few minutes, we got your bad impressions. That's next on the X Rocks.
Bad impressions.
So far, I'm not impressed.
On the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Yeah, we've got some tickets here for you to a great show coming up here October 3rd. Bad Flower. It's a Thursday, friends, at the Revolution Concert House and Event Center. Sloth Rust, Missio opening up. So we'll get you lined up with these tickets. You will also get qualified to win a little entry into the show early and see Soundcheck for Bad Flower. Meet the guys. It'll be really fun. We will have an interview with those guys coming up here. Cool dudes. So it'll be worth it. If you can figure out the bad impression, the clues here today, it will be super easy.
All right, 208-287-1003 is the number if you want these Bad Flower tickets. Big J's got 3 clues to point you in the right direction of somebody he's trying to be. If you can figure out that person in 3 clues or less, congratulations. You're going to Bad Flower on us. Hello, the X.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
Good, man. What's your name?
Jerry.
All right, Jerry, you're up first. Good luck.
I'm not just an actor. I'm a businessman. Mint Mobile, Aviation Gin, and Wrexham AFC, the soccer team. I own all those.
Next clue, please.
I'm Deadpool.
Oh, it's Brian. Oh, my God, Brian.
I mean, I feel confident you know what we're talking about. So
I do. Ryan Reynolds.
There you go.
Nailed
Good
it,
job,
Jerry. Hang on 1 second. We'll hook you up with everything you need for that Bad Flower show. Why is Ryan Reynolds in the news?
I'm married to Blake Lively. Is the third clue.
Oh, I thought you did. I could for certain you didn't have one, but wonderful. Why is he in the news?
He announced on his social medias yesterday that you can expect Deadpool and Wolverine on digital. So that's video on demand and purchasing October 1st.
Okay, it's coming up quick.
So bam.
Does it have a Disney Plus date yet?
No, not yet.
Okay.
No, they got to milk this thing for everything it's worth.
I get
I can't wait to buy it.
I get it. Oh, you're going to buy it?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Because I never know what's going to happen with Disney Plus. What the hell?
I don't understand what that means.
Well, it means that, if they jack up their prices continually, or they're also, and I didn't have a chance to put this in Nerd Alert, they're also now going to start cracking down on people and sharing their passwords.
Of course.
If that gets to be a real problem, I'd rather own some of that stuff myself. Thank you very much.
That's fine by me, and you'll be able to on October 1st. So if you're looking to purchase it and have your own copy, that's when you can buy it, and that makes a perfect bad impression. Morning After with Nick and Big J. We'll wrap things up here next on the X Rocks. That is Anarchy. That wraps up the Morning After with Nick and Big J and the Aftershock Power Hour that you have just witnessed and encountered and been a part of. So if you've been keeping track and you know the exact number of Aftershock artists we have played during this hour on the Morning After, now would be a great time to give us a call, 208-287-1003, because Big J has the ultimate passcode, the correct answer in front of him, and he knows exactly how many artists we played this hour. And now you need to see if you can echo that exact correct number. And if you do, you are qualified to join us tomorrow night at Sturman's Wine and Cigars, where we're going to do the big giveaway party from 5 to 7. You can come out and join us, have a good time. And, of course, we're going to have a lot of prizes to give away. And if you want a guaranteed chance at this giveaway to fly away to Sacramento to see the Aftershock Festival, well, then you're going to have to get qualified. Hello, the X.
Hi.
Hi, who's this?
Laura.
Hi, Laura. How many Aftershock artists did we play in the 9 o'clock hour?
I'm going to say 3.
Is it 3, Big J?
It is not 3.
It is not 3, Laura. I'm sorry. That's a little bit low. Hello, the X. Ooh. Hello, the X.
Are you taking the callers for the Aftershock?
Yes, ma'am, we are. Do you know how many artists that we played this hour?
Yes, 5.
Is it 5, Big J?
It is 5.
5 is correct. Congratulations. Yeah! What is your name? She's into it.
Awesome. Brandy Regis.
Brandy, way to go. Congratulations. You're qualified for joining us to the Aftershock Festival. We will see you at the giveaway party. Hang on one second. We'll get some details from you, and we'll see you tomorrow night out there at Sturman's Wine and Cigars. Friendly reminder, you have a couple more, several more, 3 more, as a matter of fact, chances today to qualify. You also will have a few tomorrow before we wrap this thing up, but we are giving away 5 slots in the giveaway party tomorrow night at Sturman's Wine and Cigars as well. So if you've been trying and haven't been able to qualify, you can still get through and be a part of the fun if you want to join us out there tomorrow. So we recommend that you do that. Big J, that leaves you with the floor.
Yeah, hey, man, thank you, dude, for your donation to Big J's Beer Brigade.
Oh, you're welcome, Big J.
Yeah, you did that this morning, and you're a very generous person.
I believe in the cause, and I'm happy that you're doing it, and I am excited for Saturday and hope that you have a fantastic time.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
We also want to say thank you to our friends at McDonald's for stopping by and bringing us some breakfast this morning. Big J, what did you have?
I had, because they brought back the bagel sandwiches, the bagel breakfast sandwiches, and the steak, egg, and cheese. Knock that sucker down, man.
And was it Big J approved?
Yeah.
Awesome. I had the bacon, egg, and cheese one, and I liked it as well, and they're available now. So if you want to go to a McDonald's near you, you still have time while McDonald's breakfast is being served to pop in and say, I heard Nick and Big J yapping about these bagel sandwiches. I want to check them out. Make sure you do. And if you want to try one for just $3, you can check it out beginning September 17th for a limited time at the McDonald's app. So download the app and get yourself some discounts. Big J has often said you should be downloading the app of places. McDonald's is one of those that you should, because the deals on there are crazy, including the bagel sandwich deals that are going on right now. So enjoy them, have them, and they are morning after approved. I think we can say that, yes?
Yep, absolutely.
Thank you, McDonald's. We do appreciate you. Coming up here in a few minutes, Jason Drew's taking over. We'll see you guys tomorrow. It's the X Rocks.
This is